to my studio for another session of the Jolly Gingerbread Men Junk Journal Kit. This is another session in the Beyond the Junk Journal. In the first two, we made ornaments for our tree using some elements from the kit, and now I want to make a couple things that we could maybe use on our table. So I'm skipping over doing a layout of supplies in this video. If you check the drop box below, I'll have a full list of all supplies, and that way maybe I can cut down on shortening the videos slightly. Okay, so to get started, on our page we used this little half gingerbread man on one of our ornaments. So we had his brother that was cut out from one of the others. And also a link to this kit will be in the description box. So we want this little one or this one of these two, or you could even do a double. If you wanted to do you could do doubles or singles, but one of these smaller gingerbread men. So we're going to cut that out. We're going to take our foam core, lay our little man on there, and trace him just as we did with the ornaments. We're only going to use a single layer this time though. Instead of a double layer. And we want to trace around our little guy. I might need to come in a little bit on this. Let me go ahead and trace him. I feel so off kilter. I've been sick and I meant to get these videos done well before now, and I got a virus. Let me grab my cutting mat. And then my husband got the virus, and then he just couldn't not reshare it with me, and I got it again. So all through the Thanksgiving holidays we were sick. I'm still trying to kind of recover from it. So I didn't get as much filming on this as I would like to. So you're going to take your cutting tool and simply start carving gently along your cutout line, like so. And once I get to a little, kind of a little divot, I like to kind of try to cut that away, and it kind of helps you to not have to deal with so much stuff there. Let's see, that one didn't go all the way through quite. I keep thinking I need to put a new blade in here, and I haven't done it yet. Anyway, you're going to carve around this entire little man like that until you've got him cut out. Okay? And then once you have him cut out, I want you to take a sanding block and sand all these little rough... Let me cut that away a little bit. This one's just a sample. I have one ready. You're going to sand all these little rough edges here, and even up any little paper pieces that might be hanging off. Trim that to where you get them pretty smooth, and you've got a little body cut out of the foam core and the paper. Okay, and I already have one cut because, like I said, I'm trying to cut down on these videos being so long. Then I want you to take your little gingerbread man cut out and some brown paint. I use the Waverly chalk paint. This is hazelnut. You can get this at Walmart. And I painted all the little edges of him and all this little top edge, front and back, and let that dry. Okay? So I have a dry one here because, like I said, I'm trying to cut down a little bit on these videos being way too long. It seems like they're always like an hour or something. So I thought maybe if I could cut down the steps. And if you want to see this step done in better detail, I would encourage you to go over and check out one of the other ornament tutorials, and I'll link those below, because I did go through, especially the very first one, I just went really step by step. But since this is kind of a progressive series and we've kind of done two of these, I'm thinking, you know, probably have that kind of down a little bit. So I have my little man, and I have his little body. I'm going to ink him, and I'm using some Ranger potting soil archival ink, and I want to ink those little white edges on him to kind of, just so you can't see where you know, he was fussy cut out. We're going to ink him a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to glue him on just like that. I'm just using some tacky glue here. I should have had my glue upside down. I didn't. Come on, glue. I really didn't know if I was going to film today. So I wasn't quite as prepared as I normally am when I come out here, but I just kind of, I was going to wait and see how my voice was and if I could talk without losing my voice or squeaking or whatever. It's kind of a lot of glue in it. I'm just going to spread it with my finger because I don't have anything handy. Let me get that out to those edges so he sticks down well. Baby wipe. Okay. Oops, I scooted him. Okay, now while he is adhering, that little dab of glue right there. Okay, we're going to let him adhere on there for a second so he doesn't slide around when we try to use him again. Clean the gunk off my glue. Make sure that's upside down. Okay, and you're also going to need a little tree. Now this is a bleached bottle brush tree. You can buy a package of these at like Walmart or, you know, any place they sell little Christmas decorations. And now I think even at Hobby Lobby you can already get them bleached, but this one was green. And all you do to bleach these, you can just Google bottle bleach trees, bottle bleach Christmas trees. You're going to find a ton of stuff in here. But all you do is take some bleach, put a little bit of water in it, plop the tree in it, and wait until it bleaches. And then you pull it out, let it completely dry, rinse it, let it dry, and it comes out this kind of creamy color. Then you can actually re-dye these if you want to, but I just wanted mine creamy. And so, and this one came with this sort of little chunky base. You can tell this is a, you know, a newer one. It's made in China and got the, it's not one of the vintage, you know, trees, but it gives you that vintage look. So you're going to want some little decorative things, like some little trees. I have some little candies and snowflakes and you know, just little decorative things. These are some little miniature ornaments, some little snowflakes, things like that. And then you're going to want either a little box, which I'm choosing to do a box today. This is just a little a piece of jewelry came in it. A little, what do you call it, like a paper mache box. Or you could use a vintage ribbon spool, or even a new ribbon spool if you wanted to go to like Dollar Tree or something. Like this is some of that Christmas ribbon that's that satiny paper. You could even do something like this if you want it just to be freestanding. But I was thinking that this would be cute on each little place setting, and you could put in it a truffle or a petit four or something like that, like a little treat, some sort of fancy chocolate or something like that. So I'm going to use the box. So I have all my things there. The next thing I'm going to want to do is I do want to paint my box. So I have some more chalk paints. I think I'm going to use, ooh, I've got some metallic paints too. Do I want to use this metallic-y pearl or the chalk? I've got Ballet Slipper in the Waverly, and I've got metallic stone. Let me see what color that stone is, because it doesn't look as pinky. It's kind of just sparkly. I think I want it to be a little more pinky, so we'll use this Ballet Slipper, and when you know it, this one hadn't been opened. Hang on, let me shake this and get my paints ready. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to use Both of these are Waverly Chalk paints. One is Ballet Slipper and one is Crystal. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the, where's my paintbrush? The blue on top. I hope this is still good. This stuff you almost have to use it really fast because it just, you know, it is chalk paint, it's chalk based, and it dries out. You can sometimes add a little water and get it, you know, reactivated, but it's, you know, it's not a very, doesn't tend to last as long in these little tubs. I've noticed that once you open them, you know, but I still love it. I love the matte finish of it. I love that it dries really quick. It's absorbing into my box, and I'm only going to do one coat. You may want to coat yours really, really, really well. I'm just going to do the one coat on here because I know I'm going to be adding trims and papers and glitter and stuff. So I think one little good coat is all I need. I just want to cover up the brown. I just don't want it to be brown. And I'm going to do the bottom of the box in the Ballet Slipper. And get that little raw edge there. And hopefully can kind of tip it and get this other side. And this, you can always take your heat tool to it and draw it real quick if you want to. Right there on that edge. Okay. Well, it looks like on the top. Maybe I'll go back the other direction. I guess I'm going to put 2 coats on the top. 1 on the rim and 2 on the top. I do want that covered a little bit more. It's a little streaky. So that tells me I'll probably do 2 around the sides of the bottom of the box. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, I'm going to do the pink. To try to keep it in even. I was debating between the silver lining, the gray, or the blue, and I decided to go with the blue. So but I want to kind of keep it in. Ooh! Shouldn't have dipped it that far in there, should I? Wow, that's a lot of paint. We can probably paint the whole box with this one swish. I really didn't mean to dip down in it like that. I guess I was thinking the other one was used, this one's new, and so you didn't quite have to stick your brush down in there as far. Oh well. I'm hoping to get my Christmas decorating done this weekend. It is not done. My little sad tree is in the house. He's awaiting his decor. I adopted him for $5. I'm calling him Tiny Tim. My husband said I need to give Charlie Brown his tree back. We no longer do a really large tree. As our family's grown, we live in a small house, and there's just not room for the people and a big tree unless we put it in some weird space that's not, you know, where our family's not gathered. And you know, I considered putting it in the guest/toy room where the grandkids play, but there's not enough seating back there. You know, we don't have a, you know, like I said, we live in a small house, and we just have a living room. We don't have like a family room or a den or, you know, anything like that. And we don't have we have a semi-open concept area, but my house is very small. So, I've just gone to a little 4-foot tree, and I keep telling myself every year I'm going to go buy me a really nice tree, and then I go and I look at the prices of them, and I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, this is crazy. There's so many good things I could do with this money. I mean, you know, rather than spend hundreds of dollars on a tree, or even, you know, 80 or whatever, you know, that could be, you know, you could do that for Operation Christmas Child, or you could do one of those Santa tree things, or I just can't make myself do it. And so every year I keep, you know, dilly-dallying. And then our trees that we had, I had a couple small ones, and they had like just worn out. And so it was like, well, we can't, you know, we got to do something, and I saw this one online, and so I just went and adopted it. And it's kind of pitiful, but I did have some nice floral kind of picks that are, you know, pine with pine cones and stuff in there. So I'm going to fill it out, and he'll be fine, but I cannot make myself do it. I just can't do it. And everybody keeps saying, well, wait till after the Christmas and do the sales. I'm like, nope, because then they don't have the one I like, and so I'm just not doing it. Okay, so my little guy here, I'm going to let my box dry for a minute, and I want to use some of the extra fine clear glitter. This is Recollections. You can use this or Martha Stewart brand, either one. And let's see, I need a little piece of paper or something. Why don't I have a piece of paper available? There's one. Just use this dictionary page because I want to sprinkle some glitter. I'm going to move that box back. I'm going to go ahead and paint him with some glue and then glitter him. I'm just going to use this clear glue. You want a clear drying glue. And I'm going to frost him all up. Use my glove to kind of spread that around so I'm not sure I've got it all over him. And sprinkle him up so he's nice and frosty. There. And once he dries a little bit, I'm going to glitter him all the way. Oh, and you know what? I didn't cut the paper for the back of them. That's okay. We'll do that in another step. I forgot all about that. I normally am more organized than this, and I do apologize for that. Now I want to take some more thicker glitter. This has a little bit of glitter on it already, but I'm going to glitter it more. I'm going to take something more like a tacky glue, and I'm going to put some little clumps on here. And I think I want to use the white, this is kind of like a snow glitter. It's kind of thicker, chunkier glitter, I guess you would say. So I'm just going to go from the top of my tree, and every once in a while just kind of touch my glue, however it clumps on the ends of there, here and there, and leave some spaces. I don't want to cover my whole tree, but I do want a kind of a snowy tree. And I'm not making them like dots or anything, just however they kind of go on there. I do want some clumps of snow. Okay. Now we're going to put, I hope I was in thing. I pulled back toward myself again. I'm going to put this chunky glitter on there and hope it catches down in that, because I want it to look clumpy, kind of like clumps of snow have caught on the tree. Top. Woo! Yeah, that did it. I might just kind of roll it in there too to kind of press it on there. There. And then I can add some little beads for decoration. I have a cute little frosted tree and a little frosted man. Put this back in the bottle, which might be easier said than done. I think I'm spilling it. Can't see what I'm doing here. Yeah, I spilled a lot of it. That's okay. Okay, here we have that. I think my box, yeah, it absorbed pretty quick on our box. Oh my goodness, I got a string in there. Okay, now we've got our little box here. And let me get rid of these gloves. I think I'm done with the paint. And I want to cover this portion of the box. I think I'm going to use a little piece of the paper to have underfoot. Let me grab the kit, piece of the kit for the top of my box. Now you can cover this whole thing in paper, you can paint it like I did, you can do whatever you want to. I think I want to use one of the, let me see, these or these, let's see. I think I kind of want one of these pieces right here. You see about how, yeah, that should be about right. I'm going to cut it just slightly larger outside the stitch lines because I can trim it back down. And I'm going to take a piece of this paper to put on top of my box. And then I think I'll try to draw around it so I can cut some of the excess off before I glue it. Find my, let me widen back out just a little bit because I, whoops, wrong way, Sandy. There we go. I'm going to kind of just kind of tip that off a little bit before I do that. And I'm going to glue that to the top of my box. Wrong glue. Now some of y'all going, why did you paint that? Well, I don't know, I just did, okay? It's just one of those things. And not all this is going to show because the trim and stuff is going to be covering it. But I just want a little bit of the, I like the look of that together. Excuse me. With that little bit there. Okay. Now we're going to take some crepe paper. You can use either crepe paper streamer or regular crepe paper. I've got some different colors over here. I've got some cream and some white and some pink and some blue, and I'm going to see what color I want. I think I want a double ruffle, and what I'm going to do is kind of wrap that around and do about 3 times that length in my crepe paper around my box. So I'm going to get a piece about like that, okay? So we're going to take a needle and thread, which I've already got one threaded. Whoops, maybe got more than one threaded. I'm just taking some white thread. It could be white or cream. Since I have white right here, that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to just do a little knot in the end. Let's even that side up a little bit. Now I'm just going to try to stay somewhere near the middle. I'm going to fold that piece under a little bit, come up through the edge, oops, through that edge, through that fold. Fumble fingers. And before I pull that through, I'm going through that knot to kind of secure it so I don't just pull it through. Be careful, this is paper, it's going to tear. Try to stay close to the middle, but don't worry about it if you don't. And you're just in and out gathering. You're making a ruffle. You want it gathered in the middle where the ruffling is on both sides. And we're just going to go down this piece all the way to the end. And it might be a good idea for you and for me. I don't have my glue gun plugged in, but a hot glue gun would be really handy for this next step. And I just now thought of that. I didn't have mine plugged in. It'll be its maiden voyage. My glue gun that I've had forever died, as did my sewing machine that I've had forever, and I had to replace both of them. So I'm trying to get used to new tools. Isn't that weird? It's like I left the sewing machine sitting in the studio for a little bit because I don't know why it didn't work, and I'm like, why don't I just get rid of that? It needs to go, but I just was attached to it. because I was thinking of all the things that I made on that machine. All the wonderful things that, yeah, I kind of like the cream with that. Okay, now I've got to decide if I want my ruffle up or if I want to fold it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to fold it. But the first thing we're going to do is glue this, not the thread end, but the knotted end. We want to glue it starting at a corner. Okay, and you're going to undo this and kind of, but get an anchor of it glued down on the top of your box. You want to get an anchor, and this is why I said hot glue would be a good idea, because it's going to dry quicker. Once you get the anchor, you can kind of hold your box and start adjusting this ruffle out and around your box. You might bring this one end around, and if it feels pretty secure, you can even pull the string a little bit and tighten it. You can go ahead and glue this end down right here where this edge is here. You can glue it down and then start playing with your ruffles. But if you're going to go ahead and glue it down, make sure you do have it snug around the edge of your lid. And don't worry, we can trim this down even though it's on here, but you only want to glue right here at this end. Whoops, let me get that in the middle. You only want to glue right here at this end. Oops, see, I pulled mine off. There we go. Don't pull off. Just this end here. Nothing else, because you've got to adjust those ruffles. So I'm going to glue that with my little snippet of thread in there and kind of pinch that together and cut that thread off with these dull scissors that won't cut butter because they only cut paper. Okay, glue back down there. Now I'm going to just kind of gently move my ruffles around this box, because I've got that secured at both sides, and I can kind of hold that there, you know, where I'm not moving it, and just be kind of gentle and start moving and distributing those ruffles, and then we can go up under it and glue from the other side. Like I said, this will all be covered, so don't worry about any thread showing and all that at this point. We're going to do lots of trimming on this cute little box. And you could use the larger gingerbreads too and do a bigger box if you wanted to. You know, you could do them on a bigger. I just chose the little one because I just had a small box on hand. And I thought this would be cute for like a chocolate or, oops. Smush that down a little bit too much. Okay, I'm going to just kind of fold my ruffle back and put some glue in there, and then kind of gently pull it up and press it where that thread is. That's the part I want to make sure gets secure. Flip it back again and and you can kind of distribute and fluff as you go. A little bit there. Do a little fluff. Do it again. And then we'll do it again on the last side. And you've got a little bit of drying time if you're using glue like I do, so you can move it a little bit, but once the paper gets damp with the wet glue, you have to be careful or you will rip it. It will rip. Okay. Do this last side here. Probably just going to have to kind of put my glue down in there. There we go. Kind of distribute that ruffle a little bit. See, it's kind of wanting to tear there on the end, but I'm going to have trim around this, so it's not going to matter. I just basically want to get it glued. Now, kind of pull my top and sides around. I am going to trim my top just a little bit. Just a little. It's a little tall there. I want it to stick up over the edge of my box, but I don't want it to be too high. It's maybe about a 1/4 of an inch or so. 1/4 to a half, something like that, you know. Just a little bit like that, okay? Let that dry for a minute. I want to take the lid off the box, and I'm going to trim the bottom too. Make sure that's kind of stuck. I want to trim this bottom down a little bit too, because I don't want it to cover up my bottom box. And I find it easier to trim this after you get this on here than trying to trim it and then gather it. To me, it's just easier. If you want to trim it beforehand, you know, go ahead and do that. Well, I'll have to put a little glue there. I got a little tear in my paper. Okay. Now we have this cute little fabric ruffle around here. This one, I'm going to put a little dot of glue right there. I got a little tear in my ruffle there on that corner. There we go. Okay. Let's see how my little box fits. Fits well. Except for right there. I don't think I got any glue under that corner, that piece right there. I'm just going to check everything over. Make sure I've got connection pretty much everywhere. Okay. Now, I'm going to kind of look where my lid is, and I want to sparkle my pink box, but don't put glitter up under that lid. I just want to kind of get an idea. Now, if you want to mark it in some way that you can do that. I'm going to just kind of, just a little bit, I'm going to put a little tiny tick mark on my corners here where you can't really see it. But I know I don't want to glitter past that. I'm just doing a little tick mark on the corners. So I'm going to let this dry just a minute. And I'm going to put some glue, on the glue, on here. And I'm going to put that clear glitter. I just want to go kind of up to where my line is going to be with that clear glitter, and glitter the sides of my box with the pink, with the crystal glitter, the real ultra fine glitter. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it very well, but see, I just want, but don't glitter, you know, like I said, up at the top. You don't want to glitter that part, because then your lid doesn't fit. And you've already added a little bit of a layer by putting a little bit of paint on there, so you don't want to, and I'm not going to glitter the bottom of the box either. I'm just doing these little sides. Like I said, I think I'm going to get some little pinafores. I would make them, but I don't think I'm going to have time. So I think I'm going to put some little pinafores. I'm going to make these, and maybe I'll have a little tea party with the grand girls. That would be fun, wouldn't it? To do just a little tea party. I'm sure my gingerbread boy, my gingerbread man, I guess, he's 13, so he thinks he's grown now. But he wouldn't be interested in a tea party. Oh, he would come for the snacks, but he would hang out with Grandpa. He don't want to get in on the girly stuff, so it's really funny when they get that age, because they're still kind of, in some ways, a little boy, and then some ways wanting to, you know, grow into that teen. And it's kind of sad for me, because I don't know why I had a hard time with him turning 13. That was really hard for me, just for him just to grow up. But I know it's a must thing, you know, you have to grow up. But he's just so cute and sweet. He is a sweetheart. Okay, I'm going to move this to the side. I guess I can put it back in there. These glitter, it took me forever to figure out how to get the lid off to put this back. And I don't know why I didn't figure out that there were 2 flips. And then I almost never got it open because I couldn't figure out how to get the whole lid off to get the safety thing out of there. I'm like, I'm hopeless. Okay, so we've glittered our little box here. Whoops. We've glittered our little man there. Let's see if he's dry enough. He should be dry enough. Now you could just paint the back of him, which I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll just go ahead and paint the back of him wherever I put my paintbrush. I think I'll just leave him completely painted. And then just as he dries, I'm going to completely glitter him all the way over. So I'm going to put a really good coat here on the back. And a little bit of this paper shows on the sides, so I think I'll just go along the edge toward that paper and see if I can't cover that up. This is one of those things that I'm doing again. I have the idea in my head, but I don't have a sample, so I can't show you a sample. I'm just kind of winging it. But to me, that's the most fun part of creating anyway, is just to be able to wing it. Okay. And I do believe, since this paint's wet, that I could use it as my binder and probably go ahead and glitter the back of him just like that. Let's see. Where'd the glitter go? I think that'll stick in there. And then I'll just have to come back and do the edges when he gets dry. Do a twofer. Yeah, I think that's going to stick. Okay, we're going to let him dry, and then I'm going to come back. Now, if you have some little tiny trim and you want to trim him out with like some little trim, I don't happen to have anything, I don't think, that's that tiny. I'll look and see. I might have some teeny tiny trim. You could glue a teeny tiny trim around his edge like cookie icing, which we did on the other ornaments. Okay, I'm going to just move that out of the way for a moment. I guess I'll put that back. Oh, it's got something in it. I'm not going to put that back. I'm going to put that in trash. Got some little flecks of something in there. Okay, now we'll go back over here to this. And somewhere, oh Lord, I put my glue upside down without the lid on it. Who does that? I just looked over there and saw this string of white glue going everywhere. Okay. Now, I think I want to take my little tree and decorate it a little bit, like maybe glue some little beads in here, some little seed beads or little pearls, or you know, something in there. I think I'm going to go pearls. Let me find some. These may be too big. Let's see. Those are probably going to be too big. Okay. I've got some different little white beads in here. And this, again, if you got your hot glue gun, would be easier. And I may do a few little gold, too. Let me see if I got some gold in there. I know I do, but I just need to... Well, I don't have any more of those gold ones. Okay, well, I'll use some of these shiny gold ones. I do have a few of these little shiny gold ones. You can dig a few of those out. So I think I'm going to put some little beads on my tree, and I'll just take some glue and put on there, and then push a little bead in there if I can get one out. I think I'm going to use pearls. Now you could use colored beads, but I'm just going to push it down in there like that. So you can see where I did that, and I'm just going to put a few of these on as my ornaments. I put that one on sideways so it doesn't, you can't see the hole. Now you can leave yours sticking up. I'm kind of pushing mine into the tree. Let's see, put a little gold one there. And how about another pearl here? Maybe if I put them in there, I can get them better. I'm having trouble with my dexterity a little bit. And a gold one up here. Put another pearl down here. And I'm only going to use the golden pearl. I don't think I'm going to use any other colors, but you certainly can if you want to. You know, little colored ones or little pinky ones, or I'm just sprinkling a few of these around here and there. My tree is not very uniform here, the way I've got these spread out. A pearl in there. Where did I put that glue? Oh, there it is. And then, of course, if you want something on top, you could put one on top. See if I have a pretty, some kind of pretty bead that could go on top. I kind of like that little bead right there. It's kind of cute. We'll put it on top, or whoops, for a little topper. There. Just a little bit of sparkle on the tree. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be just a little bit. Oh, Sandy, put that back on the tree and leave it there. Okay, let that dry for a second. Hopefully that little top, my little topper didn't fall off. It's not balanced up there real well. Let's see. There. Stay upright, little tree topper. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to dump those in there. I can do sorting later. Now, back to our other part. This is where you're going to want maybe some little trims and different things. I'm going to sit this on my box so I can kind of see how sparkly it's looking and cute. And I don't know how much of this is going to show. I think I'll go ahead and glitter. Well, I've got to handle this. Let me do the sides first. You're going to want some little trims to go around your sides. A little bit of lace like this. And then come along with some tinsel, which I would be using gold, not silver. Oh, there's the end. Ooh, sparkly tinsel. Yep, okay, sparkly tinsel it is. Let me pause for 1 second. I am going to use a hot glue gun on this part. Let me plug my glue gun in. Hang on. Okay, my little gingerbread man is dry enough that while my glue gun is heating, I'm going to go ahead and glitter his little edge here. Then I can go all the way around him with my glue and go ahead and glitter him. I had one little trim that was a kind of a tiny little trim, but I didn't like it on him. It's kind of a more of a beaded thing actually, and I didn't like the way it looked, so I decided, nope, just going to glitter him. So now I'm just going to just frost him all over, everywhere where that glue is, and lay him aside to dry. There we go. Okay, oops, you know that didn't hold real well in that paint, I guess. I guess I'll put a little bit more glue on the back. I thought it would hold in that paint. Didn't seem to hold as well as I wanted it to, so I'm going to put a little glue on there. Spread it around and just dip him in that excess glitter there. Make sure I didn't mess him up. Nope. He's good. He's nice and frosty. Whoops, put him face down. Let him dry. We've got our tree drying. A little tree topper there. Squeeze it a little bit to get it. My glue gun should be just about heated. I didn't even think about plugging it in. I haven't had one for a while because mine went out. So I haven't been using one. So, and I kept thinking I would go get one. I want one of those with the real fine tip. And I started looking at them price. I'm like, oh, those are expensive. I'll just get a little $4 one. That's fine. I made do with a little glue gun all this time. Let's see if this is hot enough yet. Not yet. That glue down in there. There we go. And I'm just now kind of deciding if I want to use this trim, or I'm kind of liking this little fringe here. I think I'll just go with this right here. Kind of fluff that out when we get done. And we're going to put a little bit of a glitter on it. Pull up my stool and sit down. I brought all these over here, but I don't know if I'm going to have room really for any of the, I think maybe I'll have room for a snowflake or maybe a couple of the peppermints. We'll see how much room we have on top. Kind of waiting on this glue gun. Oh, there. Oh, that one heats up fast. Okay, let me find where I started this because I'm going to start at that same corner. Look at, I have a trouble with lace. Do y'all have trouble with that? Figuring out which side's the right side? I probably put the wrong side out all the time because I like the kind of knot look to it. So I'll probably put the wrong side out. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to put my trim on. Strings. Glue strings, glue strings. You can melt those with a heat gun or a hairdryer after your project's done, and they'll come off. Press and tighten that frill to still be able to, yeah, because I want it to kind of ruffle that lace up. Just making sure I glued it in the right place. This one comes out. Wow, my old glue gun must have really been in bad shape. I'm like, oh my gosh, this one's just coming out like crazy. I better not push it so hard. My other one, it was like you almost had to manhandle it to get it to. Oh, this glue is sticky too. Wow, mine must have really been on its last leg for a long time. I'm going to have to get used to a new glue gun now. Let's see, somewhere about right there. Cut that off. It's like I have a spider web on me now. Yeah, this is crazy. I didn't know that my glue gun was in such, well, I knew my sewing machine was. Boy, that thing, it sounded like a freight train. And it was doing its own stitches. It would just make up its own stitches no matter what you had it set on. So I knew it was going. I did not realize my glue gun was that bad. Oh, this is going to be a mess. I may not use glue gun on it anymore. This is too messy. Let's see if I can barely get any out. To close that end, line it back up. Okay, now I've got that trim around. What a mess. I want to be able to fluff this up underneath, and it kind of fluffs that trim out. I like that kind of standing out a little bit. And now we're going to go around and put some of this stuff here. I hope that glue gun doesn't melt this. I don't know if it will or not. We'll find out, won't we? Where to start? top of my trim there. Just gently kind of holding it in place. Oh, pushed down too hard. I got glue on me. I was trying not to let that happen. Trying to just barely push this one because, man, it comes out fast. About right there. That would be cute tinsel to even put on that little tiny tree if you wanted to tinsel it somehow. That could be cute. Kind of twist that together right there at that end. Left a little piece sticking up. And now everybody's going, that looks like it's upside down. It's not. And I may trim this top ruffle down a little bit more. I may trim it. Well, let's just wait and see until I put my other glitter on it and everything, how I'm going to trim it. I like that sticking out a little bit. And this down a little bit. And I'm going to have my tree on here on top. We're going to have our little man on top. He's still a little bit, kind of something like this. Whoops. Something like this. Let me turn it sideways so you can see it. Something like this on top. And then you have to decide if there's anything else you want on there, like any little candies or, you know, snowflakes or anything. I am going to glitter this part, but I want to wait till everything's on there before I do that. And let's see, what else can we do to this? And I was going to use, I didn't know if I wanted to use a piece of the holly on the front. Oops. Like a little piece of the holly on front. That's the big holly though. Or gumdrops. I wanted to do something in the center on the front. And I do have a big snowflake. Oh, the little snowflake would be cute with the, you could do one of these little snowflakes or one of the peppermints. If you did a snowflake on the front, I'm going to have to nip that little thing there, but if you did a snowflake on the front, then you could do like gumdrops in the middle, or one of the little peppermints, or you could even go with one of these candies if you want it more dimensional. You could put a peppermint in the middle of the snowflake, which is cute. You look up and see how that looks. That's kind of cute. Or you could do one of the little candies in there. Or you could do a bow and one of just the little candy in there like that. What do I want to do? I'm going to snip this off right here so it looks more like part of the snowflake. Just snip it off. And now you can't tell that that's not, it looks just like the other snowflakes now. You just have to nip that little circle off so that you get the snowflake. And I didn't know if I wanted a snowflake here behind my little gingerbread man. Oh, he is still wet, and I just rubbed his glitter off. I may have to pause and let this completely dry. And I would dry it with a heat gun, but there's foam inside of here, and if you do that, you might end up melting your gingerbread man. So, I do like that a lot. And I want to glue things to this before I put glitter on here because I'm afraid that it won't stick as well. It might, but I don't know if it will. We'll see. It might. I just don't know if the glitter will make it, you know, come apart. So I think I want to use a snowflake, and I'm trying to decide. Maybe I just want the little gumdrops on there because that's kind of cute. I think I'll do gumdrops. And I'm going to ink the edges of that just so you can't see that white cut from the paper. I'm going to go ahead and just hot glue these on there, and then I'll put some glitter on them once they're on there, because it'll be easier to put glue and glitter on there if you're not kind of fighting for the hold that you need. I'm just going to rub the glitter or the glue on. I'm just going to stick it down in that glitter because I've got extra glitter there. There we go. Got some little frosted gumdrops. And let's see, which is going to be the front of my box. That's going to be the back because that's where I started it. So this will be my front. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto my box. Man, this rampant hot glue. Oh, this is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Trying to make sure that's glued down good. I know I'm going to put my tree here. Just need to decide which way it needs to turn. He's got a little lean to him. See if I can bend him. He's kind of leaning funny. Let's see. I want to get my tree on there, however I'm going to put it. Mine's going to be a little bit crooked, but I'm going to put it right there. Just a dab of hot glue, and I think once I get the tree on there and move it around, you know, as far as shaping the tree back up, it's sitting kind of crooked, is what I meant. Just want to make sure that that was on there. And I'm going to take some gold metallic paint, I think, and dust this little edge here. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm scared to touch him because he's not quite dry, but I wanted to go ahead and glue him on. Let's see if I can get a couple lumps of glue to hold him on there. So he's kind of standing by that tree. And here's what we've got thus far. Got our little gingerbread man on there. And now I'm going to take some glue. Now that I've got him on there. And I'll probably add some little candies and things around him. But I want to go ahead and glitter this part. So I think I'll take my old brush and brush glue on there, so I can kind of brush it around. I'm just going to put a puddle of glue on like this. I'm going to move that one so I don't burn myself. And kind of just brush it around all over this base here, or the lid. I'm just calling it a base, but I mean the lid. And some behind the ruffle. Some over here and some over here. Just doing a big wad. And you could do any kind of glue. You could use white glue, you know, school glue, whatever. This is what's on my desk, so it's what I'm using. I just want to get all that right there with some glue on it. Gonna come back in with that same really ultra fine glitter because I want to still see the pattern of my box there. Kind of pat some of that down. And I'm debating about using some of the Mica glitter. I was debating that, if I want to use some of that. Oops. I don't think I'm going to need any more. I think I I'm going to need that, put that in the water. But now I've got the top really glittered. I want to decide what I want to do on this edge, and I'm kind of leaning toward doing some mica glitter on the edge, just because that has that really old-fashioned look to it. So let me get my brush clean and pretty dry. I'm probably going to want to use more of a tacky glue for this, and I have two kinds of mica. I've got the mica flakes, and then I have the real fine mica. And gosh, I kind of want to use some of these flakes somewhere. I may use some of these flakes around the base of the tree. I think I'll use the real fine stuff here. And I'm going to take some glue and put it here, just a little bit of glue out, because I don't want to. I'm using the white glue so I can see it, and I'm just tipping the edges of my ruffle here. Just going to tip the edges. And you don't want to get it super wet, because this stuff does, it is that really fine paper. And the one I'm using now is a really old vintage paper, and it is very, very delicate. Yeah, oh, don't knock it over. See how it's got just that little tiny shimmer on there? That's what I want to do all the way around. I'm going to just hit that with a little bit. This is kind of like, I love this, and I love German glass glitter. And I'm out of glass glitter. I don't know why I haven't bought any. I usually only use it, you know, to do ornaments and stuff around Christmas time. But I love the look of that chunky glass glitter or mica glitter. And I'll try to leave a link. I can't remember where I bought this. I'll try to look it up in my history to see if I can find out where I got this. These two different ones, the mica glitter. This is, like I said, the really fine stuff, and I just want it to have that really old-fashioned look around the edges. Like, this is one of those old treat boxes that you would have gotten, say, like in the 1800s. I hope I'm not out of frame. I'm just sitting over here crafting. I forget to look up. I start working, and I just totally blitz out. This stuff's a bear to get back in the thing too, but we'll get it back in there. I love that. I'm not sure if that even shows up on the camera, but I am totally not sure if that shows up. And now that I like that so much, I'm going to flip up my bottom ruffle a little bit. Get my paintbrush in there and see if I can flip that bottom ruffle out. And I'm going to go along that paper on the bottom. And yeah, I guess I could just take the lid off and work it, but I don't want to touch anything that's wet, so I'm trying to keep it on the box to work it. Okay. And I like that so much, I'm going to go back and do that on this bottom edge, and I'll probably just use the glitter that's on the thing to get a little touch of that. Let's see if I can get the lid off. I'm just going to touch it in that glitter where the glue is, and just get a little bit of that glitz along this edge too. And it's not much. I'm not using much. I'm not using much glue or anything. It's just a hint. I can tell right there I'm going to want to glue that down a little bit better. Okay. I'm going to come in under here and put a little hot glue right where that front piece is. Kind of squish that. Oh, and burn myself. Yes. I have to be careful about that because with my circulation problems I don't have as much feeling sometimes. And man, I have burned myself, let me tell you. Because I don't realize I'm doing it. Okay. And I'm not super wild about the stitching showing there, but I think it's okay. Okay, let me get this back into the, see if I can get this back on the box without making a mess. this back into the bottle, and then we'll wrap this little project up. Now we're just down to the cute part of just adding any little extra things that you want to add. But I think it's pretty cute just like that. I mean, that is a really cute little box. But I think it would be even cuter to add some of the little candy. Ooh, hot glue. Hot, hot, hot. I think it would be even more cute to add some of the little candies. So I'm going to add a peppermint here. Kind of put it there. Let it rest. And I think I want one of the little pink candies there. These are those little bitty ornaments like you can get at Hobby Lobby. I'm actually going to put a little tiny dot of that to see if it'll stick to that tree. That's looking even cuter with all that there. And I'm wondering if I should put a big snowflake and add another snowflake behind him. I don't know why, but at Christmas things can just be gaudy, can't they? I don't know if I wanted something like behind him. Like a little snowflake or another pile of candy, or what about the bigger gumdrops if they're not holly? Let me look for the bigger gumdrops. Do I have any cut out? Sure I do. I was thinking, I wondered about the bigger gumdrops, or I don't have one here in the studio, but I'm thinking one of those little, like an ornament, like a glass, or, you know, even one of those little plastic, like an ornament or something. He looks like he needs some filler behind him. But this is our little box, and I still feel like it needs one more element. I'm not sure what. You know, I thought maybe more gumdrops, but no, not gumdrops. And I even thought these big ones off of here would be cute, but no. I'm checking out the candy canes now to see if maybe I could do something with one of the candy canes on here. I mean, which honestly, even a large candy cane looks kind of cute if you wanted to back that and glitter it and glue a candy cane in there. That looks cute. Or you could do, let me see, one of the straight ones. Even one of the straight ones, that looks really cute too with the candy cane. But I feel like he needs another piece. I'm going to think on it. It may be a little piece of Christmas greenery or a little ornament, but I'm going to stop here at this one, and this is our little box. Now you can open it up and put a little treat and sit these at each place setting on your table, or have a little tea party. They would be great for doing little gifts in. Do a little teacher's gift in, put a fancy truffle or something. And they don't take as long as probably this video did, since I was kind of making this up as I went along. I just had an idea in my head. So, but I think these would be really cute to add to your Christmas decor. So I hope you've enjoyed this project, and join me next. We're going to be making a envelope journal for a cookie swap or a recipe holder. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you around the studio.